The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
No! I'm going down to Alphabet Street. I'm gonna cry.
And hello, everybody. Oh my God, it is already almost the end of May. This is Tuesday, May 22nd. You are on with the F word. And it's an F word called Financial 15 right now. And then we're going to be talking about some free throws in a little bit. But Jonathan...
Hi, Cathy.
Senigaglia. There we go. There we go. You can, I'm just not even going to try anymore. I'll just let you say it, but you know what? Everybody's just going to know you as Jonathan. But thank you so much. Senigaglia. It's it'd be a bottle of wine. If it was a bottle of wine, I guarantee I'd remember it.
I should be drinking a bottle of wine right now.
I usually am. But I'm out. And I only had one bottle of beer left in the house. So I'm drinking coffee. So if I sound a little bit wired, it's because I am. But, okay, so we're going to be doing that. So, everybody, what I want you to know about is the Financial 15. This is something that I brought to another show a while back. And it was really well received. And because the F word, one of the F words is finance, and that's, faith, family, finance, football, friends, free throws, all kinds of F words, whatever we want to come up with, like philanthropy, right, Mike? Because it sounds like enough. But we've got Magic Mike, who's always my magic man, on the show tonight, and then Lew. We're going to be hearing from Lew also, so you'll be finding out who these guys are. But I want to know, first of all, we're going down the road 15 minutes right now. Financial 15, talk, tick, tick. Let's go. Tell me about, tick, tock, time value of money, right?
That's right.
What do we got?
Start tonight by talking about something that's really fundamental in the world of finance. And if somebody's never heard of it before, it might sound really complicated, but it's actually a really simple idea, and it's the main reason why people choose to invest their money rather than just storing it under their bed.
Well, there's a lot of people, though, when did people start really storing the money on their bed? What era was that? Because I remember my grandpa, he had stuff stowed everywhere.
Well, that's one way to diversify. Basically, the idea behind time value of money, at its most basic level, it means that $1 in your hand today is worth more than that same dollar in your hand tomorrow. If given the option to receive a certain amount of money today, or that same amount of money at some point in the future, you should always choose to take that money now, got more value now, and then ideally you should invest it so that it grows over time.
Okay.
And there's a couple reasons why.
Okay, well, tell me the first reason.
Well, the first reason why you should always take your money now is because of inflation. Inflation is kind of like weight gain. You gain a couple pounds every year. You don't necessarily notice that it's happening, but fast forward 40 or 50 years, and you notice the results.
Oh, no, it goes faster when you're older women. Trust me. That's the time value of time happening. Okay.
You could think of our money gaining weight, gaining a couple pounds every year. I guess you could say losing a couple pounds, because what happens every year is, we get this inflation rate between 1% every year. Whether we notice it or not, it's happening, and inflation is just eating away at the value of our money. A good way to picture that is, picture $20 in 1950, what you could have bought for $20. In 1950, $20 was worth what $200 is today. So for $20, you could have bought a brand new set of 16 golf clubs, for example.
Wow.
Whereas $20 today, some movie theaters, that'll buy you one movie ticket.
That's exactly. That's crazy.
What's that $20 going to get you in 50 years? Take it now. It's worth the most now that it will ever be worth.
Maybe a gallon of milk.
And then the other reason why you should capture it today if you can is because of its potential to grow over time. If money is invested into some sort of account that bears interest, then every minute it spends in that account is a minute of potential growth. Therefore, the longer that money is invested, the more that growth can take place. So if you invest money, time becomes your friend. If you wait to get money later, time becomes your enemy, because the longer you wait to get it, the less valuable it will be.
Okay, so I think I've been on that money diet sometimes because I need to go on it, or whichever way that goes. But so what are some of the more typical ways, Jonathan, that people are putting their money aside and saving it or investing it?
Sure.
And I do need to point out, too, that you're not an advisor who gives out investment advice. You're literally just teaching what it is. So he's not making advice, folks.
No, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm an economics teacher.
Yes.
So I am just here to teach financial literacy and help people understand the basics. And hopefully somebody out there is listening that has never thought of this stuff before and has always just kept their money in a checking account, and they're thinking, oh, wow, so I should put it somewhere where it can grow over time, or by not investing it, I'm actually losing that potential. And if that person thinks about that, then that's a step in the right direction.
That's wonderful. And, and
asked,
also, Jonathan, what I want you to say this several times, but, where can they go to get more information?
Well, I've created a web page. That's a good place to start. If you want to know more, you can go to onepointbusiness.com/time. And that website will give you a lot more information, and it'll also, tell you some ways you can get started. Cathy, you asked about, what are some examples of things people can use to grow their money?
Yes.
Well, there's lots of different examples. There's stocks, bonds, mutual funds, index accounts, annuities, cost segregation, retirement accounts, all, certain kinds of life insurance. And by the way, these are all things that we will discuss on the Financial 15. Each one of those will get its own episode down the road. If somebody out there is listening and they're thinking, that's very overwhelming, I don't know what any of that stuff is, I've never thought about this before, send me an email. My email address is jonathan@onepointbusiness.com, and I will gladly connect you with a financial advisor. At the very least, that person can give you some answers, can give you some education, some financial literacy. That's why financial advisors exist, to help guide you down this path, so you can, spend your retirement years sipping margaritas on the beach rather than bagging groceries at Safeway.
Well, not that there's anything wrong with bagging groceries at Safeway if that's what you want to do, but, yeah, I'd rather be drinking the margaritas. So,
that's right.
That's what I'd rather be doing now, too. I would actually drink margaritas while I bag the groceries. That would be more my style. So, when you're younger, now let's think, here's an F word for you when I think of your son, the future.
Yeah.
So let's talk about that time value of money when you have a child. What's your recommendation that you would say? What would you want to do, just for the kids' sake?
Well, the younger you are when you start investing, or even better, if your parents can start investing for you on your behalf, the more you can use time as your ally. Now, again, there's lots of different opportunities, lots of different options. I'm not going to tell somebody this is the ideal type of account you should set up when you have a kid, or this is the ideal thing you should do if you want to start investing at age 18. Let me just say this more generally. If you can get into an account that is growing your investment faster than the rate of inflation, so if inflation is proceeding at 3% a year, you've got to have an investment that's growing more than 3% a year, then you are beating inflation and you're using time as your friend. One good way to think about this is, imagine that you had bought a bunch of different stocks in the year 2000, and then you sold all those stocks in 2005.
Okay.
There was a recession in 2003, and that recession caused the stock market to dip. It would have wiped out most of your investments. That's because you only gave yourself 5 years to bounce back from that recession. But imagine instead if you had bought all that stock in the year 1970, and sold it in 2005. You gave yourself 35 years. During that time period, you would have been invested during 6 different recessions, and yet you still would have come out way better off than when you started. You would have made quite a nice return on your money because you had so much time invested in the market that those recessions, you were able to recover from them. So that's why you got to use time. The younger you are, the better.
Exactly. Well, and that's where people that are older, they, if they knew then what they know now, I mean, they do things a lot differently. I mean, back when I started working at the age of 14, which, 10, 20 years ago, something like that. But, I mean, if I would have just saved $5 a paycheck, what that would have done now at my young age. But just even putting it, even just putting the money, like having a piggy bank when you're little, I think is a great thing for little kids.
Sure.
And then when they get a little bit older, taking it to the bank and making it a big deal and letting them see how it grows. Yes, it's not beating inflation, but they are seeing some lessons there. So,
well, how about take a 16-year-old who has a summer job?
Yes.
That person's making an income. They can take a portion of that and they can invest. Their parents can help them set up some sort of fund or even a retirement account, something where they can start to plug money away early.
Right.
Warren Buffett is often credited as being the most successful stock investor in history. He was once asked what his preferred time period is to hold on to stocks and investments and mutual funds, and he said forever. The longer you can hold it, the better. So if you're 16, or 18, and you've got some income, and you're thinking, well, I don't want to start investing until I can actually put away like $500 a month, and until that point, I'm not even going to do anything.
Right.
Start with $25 a month, $50 a month, something small. If it's somewhere where it's growing, future you is going to thank current day you for setting that up.
Good way to look at it. Hey, Mike. Hey, Lew. What are your thoughts?
Yes, Cathy.
What are your thoughts, Lew? What did you do? What did past Lew do? That sounds weird. Past Lew do. Like Cindy
Could you rephrase that question, Cathy?
What
so
did
I can put an F word to that?
Yes. Frankly, what did you do in the past to get you to
in my past life?
Yes,
okay.
to get you to your future.
I can go there.
Okay.
Yeah. In the past and still present day, I'm a blue collar American at heart. Been in the trades. I'm a tradesman, working in the electrical field for the last 20-some years, and I branched off and expanded my entrepreneurial wings about 4 years ago and opened up my electrical contractor business. Since then, I've been opening up businesses like once a year, like storefronts, right, Mike?
I love it.
Yeah, so definitely, and from the construction field onto the commodities field. I mean, that sounds like a title of a book right now. It's just a story of my life, man. It's just leveling out in a whole different financial situation, a whole other financial pool. Now I know exactly what it feels like to be in a pool of sharks, being in the commodities business, and just coming from the construction world where you got the rough, tough construction talk and all that good stuff, and then your work shows in a different way. So definitely, basically just making transition from one element to another right now.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Mike, did you do anything when you were younger to get you to where you are today?
Yeah, just worked hard. Yes. Amen.
That's right. So I'm curious. So talking about future and the time value of money, what at our advanced, my age is much more advanced. I'm embarrassed. No, I'm not. I'm proud. I made it this far. But I mean, what are you thinking of right now as far as, what have you got yourself set up with? So, Lew, talking about what you've done and now with the commodities and everything, I mean, what kind of products are you looking at?
I couldn't hear the rest of that question, Cathy. I am mobile right now.
Okay.
Could you repeat
Sure.
that for me?
Yeah, what kind of products are you looking at for your future? F word, by the way, again. Future.
Oh, my future products as far as what, in the commodities realm?
Are you looking at commodities, or what are you looking for? Safety? You know, something that you know.
For safety. Oh, okay. Well, actually, I'm looking for small percentages and large gains.
Okay.
Right now, you know, being in this different pool, it's you know, you got a lot of risk, and you'll end up with more reward.
Right.
So right now, we're also in a part way through a deal where we're working to get another airline off the ground as well. So, you know, those commodities, the spaces, they tie in together.
Okay.
You know, from the jet fuel, from, you know, the gold, the diamonds, the rubies, you know,
all things that I like.
They're all tied in together. So in the future, well, my future now is just, you know, work smarter and receive the gains that are, you know, a little bit of the fruit of the labor.
Right.
Yeah?
Well, Jonathan, I mean, I always like to say to everybody, the future is now, because the future is what you're doing with it. So I know you have a limited amount of time because your future is waiting to get tucked in. But what else did you want to stress to everybody tonight? Just you know, about the time value of money.
Sure. I'll just some takeaways people can think about before I go. First of all, invest as early as possible to maximize the value of time, even if it's in small amounts. If given any option to capture money today rather than get it later, get it today and invest it if you can. And then try to invest in things that grow faster than inflation. So your savings account is not going to be good enough, you know, in the long term if you're really trying to plan for retirement. I would say if somebody wants to do a little activity, they could make a list. You know, especially if you're somebody out there listening who has never thought about this before. Make a list of all the places you store your money. Checking, savings, retirement account if you have one. List every place. And then ask yourself, are there items on that list that are likely to grow your money over time faster than the rate of inflation? Are you capturing compound interest in any of those accounts? You know, otherwise known as interest that pays on your interest, so creating like a snowball effect. Is that happening in your account, or is it just sitting there and checking? If you've never thought about any of this stuff before, the first step is to connect with a financial advisor, somebody that's got your best interest at heart, that can at the very least just talk to you about this, answer your questions. You know, the same way you would hire an architect to build your home, you might want to bring in a financial advisor to help build your retirement portfolio. You don't have to do it alone.
That's beautiful.
So,
I'm sorry, go ahead.
What was that?
No, go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say, send me an email at jonathan@onepointbusiness.com or visit onepointbusiness.com/time. And through there, you know, I'm happy to connect you with somebody that can get you started down that road.
Exactly. And folks, guess what? That would be a Hall of Fame financial advisor, somebody that I have talked to, gotten to know, vetted to make sure that, you know what, there's somebody, if I'm working with them, there's somebody that I would let work with my family. That's another F word, by the way. But, Jonathan, thank you so much, everybody. Jonathan, say the website one more time, because please go there. If you want any more information, we can make sure we get it out to you. If you have any questions, even if you're, you know, a little bit older and you're like, wow, I haven't even thought about that, I better get started, and you're a little embarrassed, don't be, because more people are like that.
Never too late to start.
Exactly. What's the website again?
It's onepointbusiness.com, 3 words, onepointbusiness.com/time.
onepointbusiness.com/time. And speaking of time, the financial 15 is up.
Time's up.
Thank
All right,
you,
thanks,
Jonathan.
Cathy. Goodbye, everyone.
All right, have a good day.
All right.
Thank you.
All right, guys. So time is on our side now, because the other F word I wanted to talk about was free throw, because, you know, we're going to be looking at a lot of free throws coming up. We've got...
I hope not.
Well, yeah, we are for the other team. Hello.
I don't plan on fouls.
Well, that's another F word, foul. Okay, sorry. Remember, my basketball experience mostly is where?
Space Jam.
You said it this time, not me. and I gotta say the Globetrotters too. So my basketball life has been very cartoonish because even, the Globetrotters are so famous that they were on Scooby-Doo. I watched that. I loved it. Because like Meadowlark Lemon and Curly were my favorites. And then, so this friend of mine, Carl Eller, who I was working with, he got to go take pictures with Curly, and I was so jealous because I didn't get to go. So, like, I even told him, I go, Carl, he's so famous. Not, because Carl Eller isn't at all. Like, Hall of Fame, hello. And he goes, oh, well, I'll make sure to tell him hi from you. God. But anyway, what's going on? Whose phone? The WCBA. I want to talk about this, but I want everybody, nobody knows who you are, Lew. Who's Lew? Who is this guy, Mike? How'd you get to know him? Tell me.
Oh man, Lew's a great guy, man. He's one of my many business partners, and actually, me and Lew actually had a chance to meet during getting everything situated for the Money Round Boxing League. We actually met. We partners in Money Round Boxing League, and the crazy thing about it is, it's just one of those relationships, man. Energy. Good energy. Yeah. When a person brings you good energy, you can't help but to move off of it. And me and Lew were kind of always, on the same page when it came down to, positive energy, being able to push and support one another. And it turned into a friendship and a partnership to where we've been able to maneuver outside of, Money Round Boxing as well, and, create our own lanes as well. So, Lew's one of my good buddies, and it's someone that's going to be here for a long time.
I appreciate
that, Mike. I appreciate that, Mike. And Cathy, yes. I could say it 2 times better just for Mike, because just for this little bit of time that, the last 6 to 8 months that we've been, bouncing ideas off of each other, we've been also helping each other, with concepts. And, with business, you need true visions and visionaries beside you and behind you to go ahead and make sure that, there's a firm understanding. And we definitely, like Mike said, we've had a great synergy. I call him, I told him my long lost family. I said, Mike, man, we must have been family. We gotta be family. We gotta be family. Yes.
Well, then you related to me too, because I'm like the female Mike, and I know.
Yes,
scary.
I call Cathy my twin. Cathy's my twin.
It's scary. It's really scary.
Well, in all honesty, Cathy, the last time I checked, there's only one family tree, and it's not a whole orchard. So. Somehow or another, there's only one tree, so yeah, definitely, all good.
Yeah, it's like a willow tree or something, it's kind of swaying in the wind sometimes when I'm staggering around, but it's still staying strong.
You know what, Cathy?
Yeah.
You're the only one that knows that song.
That's right.
I get it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But okay, so here's what I want to do, because Lew, you talked about your trade, blue collar.
Yes.
Where did you grow up?
Actually, I grew up in a small town called East New Market, Maryland. Population probably 75.
Salute.
Real small town, East New Market, Maryland. You could blink twice, blink once, and you'll be through there.
Wow.
Never grew up with anything fancy. We just, my dad was a blue collar worker. He was a state certified welder. He still, welded bridges that are still standing right to this day.
Good.
Him and his team. Yeah. So blue collar was in the blood. So. We just picked up the trade and we ran with it. After a few pitfalls, or when you leave and go home and you go to college and things, and you work hard to get where you want to go. things happen, and you just got to get back up. Played baseball down in college, down in West Palm Beach. I did a year and a half in college, finished it up, getting ready for summer school, got in a car accident, messed up my back. That was another why,
Right.
And nobody called back. Everything was good. We had Jack Nicklaus Sports Management representing us. I mean, we were right there. The Yankees, Mariners, Padres, Expos. And after the wreck, nobody called. So that was another get back up and get it and go. So, yeah, life's throwing us a curves, but, man, we're back.
Right.
We got good company. We got you in our corner. I got to give you your props, too, Cathy. You've been a reliable resource, just coming in and, answering the call. I mean, just like last night on one of the deals, you answered the call. It was late. The clock was ticking, and
I know. I'm like, really?
I tip my hat to you, Cathy. It's been a pleasure over the last 3 or 4 months that we've been able to, maneuver in this business world together.
Right. Well, I got to tell you, thank you so much for thinking enough of me to call me in the last hour like that. I wish I was like underdog and could swoop in and make it happen. But when it's right, it will be.
Yeah.
So that's great. All right, so guys, we've got a huge endeavor ahead of us, and first, thank you, Myke, for asking me to help out with this and to be a part of it, because this is something so exciting to me. And I mean, I know people have heard me talk about this, but with my background in financial services, starting, in the industry back in '99, and really my wheelhouse has been fixed indexed annuities. So when Jonathan's talking about things beating the price of inflation, fixed index annuities can do that. But one of the nice things is that when he mentioned the crash, you don't lose your money. You might not gain anything, but you're not going to lose anything either. So that's one of the things I like about the annuities. But over the years, and working on the retirement side of the financial services and the safe side of it, finding out that athletes are going broke, like 75% are broke within 5 years, of just like the NFL players. But NBA players, it's like 60% within 3 years. And knowing that, and talking to all the different athletes that I've met over the years, the number one thing that they've said, if they could go back, I'm talking about, time, they could go back, they would have educated themselves. And so one of the cool things that I love that both of you are excited about is the financial literacy aspect. But Myke, what I want you to do tonight is tell everybody, because I hear you talk about this, and every single time you tell a new person about it, it's like I'm hearing it again for the first time. But please tell everybody about the league.
Oh man, it feels like
I know.
It feels like I'm on repeat mode. I might as well get.
But it's like, but think about it.
Replay button.
Right.
But
but it's the first time for somebody, always.
Yes, and there's always somebody new that needs to hear it. And what can I say? I mean, man, this has been nothing but a blessing. I mean, honestly, we've been able to create a concept within me, Lew, front office, Eric Dolphin, commissioner, Kristen, the deputy commissioner, and what we've been able to do is that we've been able to, yes, as well, Kevin Williams, who played a big part in this movement. And what we've been able to do is create the first international basketball league in America, which is a professional league with over 20 professional franchises in the U.S. And what we've done is we've created an affiliate league for Europe and the U.S. It's been an international connection. And what we've been able to do is create another lane for athletes and for basketball players to be able to continue their career. And everyone also knows that there's only, there's the NBA and there's the G League. And, other than that, there's not really an opportunity for players in the U.S. So what happens is there's only 2 rounds in the NBA draft, And there's so many athletes that basically have to give up their dream because, unfortunately, they may not have the connection to get overseas. So what we did was we created a concept to create a league, a platform that actually send players over to other countries to, be able to get, bigger contracts, as well as to be able to bring over the Europeans to come play in the U.S. so that they will be able to, showcase their talent in the U.S. So, I mean, it's a great concept. And we have nothing but great ownership groups right now. I mean, I'm so proud of every single ownership group who's busting their butt to, make this situation something great for the players. And I mean, I come from Flint, Michigan. I've seen so many guys fall short simply just because of opportunity. I mean, we have the cream of the crop in talent in basketball. And, we've been able to, with my franchise, I know we formerly just moved over to Cedar Rapids, Iowa, but we were able to get guys off. We were able to get guys off and get them contracts and be able to help play a part in getting these guys contracts in other countries. And what I realized was this is something that needs to be done in a lot of different places because there's a lot of players that don't get a chance to play pro ball. And it's just simply not enough roster spots in the NBA.
No, there's not. And so can you tell me, because now I know some pro players that were in the NBA and then they ended up overseas, like over in Japan, over in Italy. In fact, our guest next week was that exact kind of situation. But what's the difference? So if a pro player goes over and plays, are there like different leagues, different levels, or like I like to call different layers of players?
They're actually different. I mean, depending on the country,
right.
You have Pro A, Pro B, and National. Pro A is normally your top leagues, and then you have Pro B. Then you have National. Then you have your National League as well. And what it is divisions. Okay. And simply, you'll have a guy like Stephon Marbury. I mean, I believe Marbury was a prime example of, being able to, he was kind of falling off on the NBA platform, but he was able to go over to China and rebrand himself. He rebranded his shoe brand. He was able, and I believe that it was a great situation for the guy because he was able to win championships over in China, and he basically rebranded himself over in another country. And what that showed that it's not just about, guys feel that they fall short when they don't make it to the NBA. And what it does is it take away your dreams. So what happened is a guy that could have possibly said, okay, hey, I didn't make it in the NBA, but hey, I'm able to feed my family and I'm able to, make good money playing overseas. What happens is if they never have the connection or they never have someone, an agent who can get them over there, they're basically stuck to basically give up their dream and say, hey, you know what, I need to work, I need to take care. And that's not a problem as well. I mean, some people, it happens, everyone's not going to live the dream. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to keep the dream alive for these guys and offer a direct platform so that these guys can, hey, be marketable. We want to be able to teach these guys the business, and we want to be able to make sure that their family and friends can see them play. Why not create that concept here in America?
I love that. I mean, well, and this is the first time, too, that the European teams will be coming over here to play.
Yes, we'll actually be bringing over teams, and not just, we'll be bringing over teams from Greece. We'll be bringing over teams from all over,
I love it.
Yes, indeed. And that's what we're looking to do. You have France, you have Germany. And what we want to do is we've been able to create this platform that allows us to basically be an affiliate. It allows us to be a partnership, and this is what it's really about. It's about global unity. At the end of the day, it's bigger than basketball. Basketball is just the thing that brings us together, but it's about global unity.
Right.
You'll get to see some of the European guys come over, play in our league. You'll get to see some of our guys go over and play in those leagues and get to, expand their career. And that's all this is about, man. It's about providing opportunity as well for ownership groups as well. It's giving people a chance to be able to own. Not everybody gets a chance to own an NBA franchise, but It's
right?
to be able to own a sports
That's like
franchise
something,
itself.
right? That's something that nobody even dreams of. Talk about, again, what's the majority of players that are black? I mean, isn't it 85%?
Yes, and the
how
thing
many?
is, it's over. I'm not trying to make it a color situation, but there's only one African American, majority owner in the NBA, and that's Michael Jordan.
Oh my God, he was in a movie, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Did say it.
It's indeed Space Jam.
Yeah.
It's your movie, Cathy.
It is.
The one and only.
Exactly.
It's your movie.
It is. I'm gonna watch it. I'm gonna watch it again. So, what I like. Okay, so Lew. Let's talk about Lew here for a second while Lew is here to listen to us talk about him, and we won't really talk about you the way we normally do. Just kidding. But okay, say like you said, blue collar. You own a team.
Small town USA.
Right.
And
this little ditty about Jack and Diane, man. So.
Yeah, and now I get a chance to be a team owner with Mike Darrough.
And the
rest of the owners in the WCBA. It's a huge treat, and I can't thank Mike and Kevin and once again you enough to number one, give a small town boy like myself an opportunity to come in and show that it's not really where you're from, it's where you're at. We're in a great city here in the metro Atlanta area. We're getting a lot of positive feedback, and sometimes I got to sit back and reflect because this should be somebody else, but God said, "Hey, it's you. It's your time to go ahead and put both feet forward and see what you can do." And Mike has been helping us tremendously with our branding strategies, marketing, just conversation. I got a lot of questions, don't I, Mike?
Yes, indeed, man. But I'm glad that I can help you answer those things, man. And, that's just something that comes with it, man. I feel that no question is a bad question. So I feel like, Lew, you ask all the right questions that is going to help you succeed, in the future.
I do appreciate it, Mike. And I had a running joke with Mike the other day. I said, Mike, man, I think I call you more than I call my mother. We are definitely on the phone. Yeah, definitely on the phone. Pretty much night and day. I accidentally called Mike at 8 o'clock this morning. He was like, "Nah, Lew, I've been up. I've been waiting for you. I've been doing it."
I think I probably called them before that. So don't feel
man.
It's usually
and and this is what I'm getting at. This is what I'm getting at. It builds a business relationship. It builds a brotherhood. We're talking about business. We don't know where this business is going to go or how it's going to grow, but we're going to do our best to make it grow. We're going to do our best to continue and throughout this first inaugural season and to make it to the next season and to continue to create a fan base that will support us. Right now, I just can't explain it. The support is phenomenal in my city, so I could only imagine coming to Cedar Rapids or the Flint, Michigan area. And I still have to take a visit up to Flint because we have some serious other engagements that we need to take care of in the city as well.
Yes, indeed, brother.
So definitely, we are definitely on a great plane. I think we're all on a great plane together, and we all need to go ahead and ride this thing out and make sure that we put forth our financial efforts. We put all our financial efforts together and build a foundation. With the foundation that we're talking about is the WCBA, the World Club Basketball Association.
Well, and I like that global unity. Bring it to the community. It's like it's going to be such a great show of worldwide
it's
unity.
Big, and it comes. You also got to think about the TV deals, and what it is also something that I wish people would understand. take a chance on yourself. Some things that seem impossible to you don't realize it until you build the work. You build the work. What we're doing is we're building value into these professional franchises, and it's something that I feel not just, don't want to make this a race thing, but that a lot of our African Americans need to understand we can own what we do.
Right.
You know what I mean? And take a chance. I mean, the most shocking thing for me since I've been since I've owned my own franchise was that it was shocking to me that there was a little kid one day at the games. And, the players were giving out, they were doing autographs. I got a lot of former, collegiate stars, as well as I had a former pro player as well. And, I like to do the autograph signing for the kids. And this little kid comes up. I went to school with his mother, and the little kid was about 5-6 years old. He hands me a piece of paper with a pen, and I'm like, kid, what's up? And, she's like, he wants your autograph. He's happy that he gets to, sit and talk and shake hands with the guy who owns it.
See?
And that shocked me. Most kids, they would gravitate to the player, and here this little kid was asking for the owner's autograph. You never know who you affect, and they may not ever they may not ever get to go to an NBA game. They may not ever get to see that. But when you're in your community and you're able to bring this to your community, you're opening up new doors. You're opening up new doors, and you don't know what it's doing to the next kid who's saying, hey, I may not be able to play basketball, but hey, I may be able to own my own franchise when I get older.
Well, and that's it, exactly. Because, there are so many kids that do look up to the athletes, but look at the front office. Seriously, because not everybody is going to be the athlete. You're less than 1% of the population. But if you can actually work really hard and, get the opportunity. One second, talk amongst yourselves. But get the opportunity to talk to the people that are behind the scenes, because they're the ones that are making it all work. It's like the Oz, pay no attention to the man behind the curtain, right?
Yeah.
That's you.
Yes,
You're both.
indeed.
And you do both of it. So, because you're such a great spokesperson for all of it. And I've been on so many calls with you, and it just gets me so excited. And like I said, I don't know the game. I need to learn the different, plays and the positions. And I was watching the playoffs this weekend, which I don't normally do, and I did. That's huge.
Actually, right? Once you're getting involved, you start to realize, you start to realize what you're watching.
It's a science.
Right?
Yeah, it's a science. Basketball is definitely a science. It really is.
And I think, the cardio, too, it's just crazy.
Hand-eye coordination, agility, strength, it all goes together. Mental. It builds so much. I was just talking to my son, and I was explaining to him the mental part of how much it developed me playing ball as a kid. You don't think about it until you realize basketball, sports is a place where you're able to receive constructive criticism, and you're able to handle it. And so if you can handle it as a kid, as an adult, you can handle it when you're improving yourself.
Yeah, you're coachable.
Yes,
you gotta be coachable.
You want to be coachable
in life. Because if you can't handle any kind of criticism, you're not going to get anywhere. You're gonna
have a hard time.
Mm-hmm.
And the funny thing is, those guys, I can remember growing up, playing travel ball, playing AAU in high school, and I remember when the coach would say, that kid's going to have a hard time in life. And 9 times out of 10, those same kids that they said that about had a hard time in life because you couldn't tell them anything then.
Or there's so many of them that are so good at it and they feel so entitled, nobody does anything and coaches them. They just let them do their thing, and then they end up not getting anywhere just because they're not well-rounded.
That's very true. I go through that a lot, too, with boxing and MMA, and that's another subject, but that's a lot. Sometimes when you've been so talented and no one's ever had to tell you your flaws, it's hard for you to hear the things that make you better. And that's something we all need to be able to handle in life. Be able to take the constructive criticism, because someone's maybe telling you that, not because they're, like the world says today, hater. No, not because they're a hater. No, because they may see the best in you. And you may need to get through that specific situation. Allow yourself to be coached.
Exactly. So I want people to know that there's still availability with this league, and also I want people to know that we're not out competing with the other leagues. I mean, we're in a league of our own, right?
Yes. We're not looking to basically compete. I mean, what you look at is we made sure that we done something, that we created concepts with different streams of revenue, with different revenue streams. What we've allowed to do is we've allowed to basically create a concept that shows the ownership groups where they make their money back.
Exactly.
And where they're able to make a return on investment and where they're able to improve. So the thing was, we focus more on the business side of this because, hey, basketball is only so long. So, how much can you do? What can you bring in that will be able to, for ownership groups to be able to say, hey, listen, you know what? I love this concept. I love the business, because at the end of the day, it's business.
Exactly. So, Lew, when it was brought to your attention, what was your first response? Were you just immediately I'm in?
Cathy, you direct the next question to me?
Yes, I did.
Okay. Definitely. When Mike actually brought the situation to me, we were at a crossroad. And we were just saying, hey, look, hey, this is perfect. This is what we talked about, 2 weeks ago, Mike?
Yeah. And I'm going to tell you the craziest thing about it. We had actually spoke about basketball after one of our calls for Money Round Boxing.
Wow.
And Lew asked me what was I going to do, and I was like, well, listen, dude, we're locked in. We were so focused on the task we had ahead of us for Money Round. I was like, Lew, you know what? That would be a great idea. It would be great to get back in the, and I was like, right now I need to focus on, Money Round and what we got going. And he was like, dude, do not put that behind you, dude, because, it's something good. It's something I think we need to look at. And
we were talking about creating our own league, remember?
Yes, indeed. We were talking about creating our own league in the future. And then this opportunity came up. And, come on now. It was obvious that was going to be the first call.
Right. Wow. It's just... Well, and the thing is it's so affordable for somebody to get in. And that's what it's like.
Yes.
That's what I'm telling people. It's like, get a group of guys. If this is something that's been a dream, my gosh. We've got, what cities do we still have available? We have, we have Myrtle Beach.
Yes, we have Myrtle Beach. We still have
Virginia
Vegas.
Beach.
Yep, we have Virginia Beach. We have Vegas and Reno.
Mm-hmm.
We still have potential franchises in the Midwest as well.
Yes.
That could be open. And there's a string. So what people have to look at is that it's just like buying in. It's just like investing in stock. You're buying it for the price right now of $25K of value, of franchises that are valued at $100K already.
Wait, did you say $25K? No.
Yes, $25K.
$25,000, people. That's
$25K to buy a sports franchise. You'll never get this again.
You'll never get that chance again. It's plus you can get Ginsu knives. No, I'm sorry. You get you get jerseys. You get shooting shirts. You get jogging suits. You get coaches' polos. You get molten balls. You get, there's a certain bag that we will tell you about that is not being named right now, but it will be. That when you have a team, this is that's crazy to me. It's honestly, I'm just so excited about this and the opportunities. Plus, I sound like one of those commercials, don't I? And if you act right now, if you're the 8th caller, but no, plus, not only, I mean, what we're doing is we're offering additional income opportunities for everybody that's involved. Every single person that's involved, because there are like 28 million businesses out there. Well, guess what? Guess what, team owners? There's businesses that are going to want to sponsor your team. Guess what? Every business out there wants to find ways to save money, and nobody wants to pay more taxes. So we have a program that can do some digging in and see if they can actually save you some tax money. And that's something that's offered for free by working with us. And that's throughout our entire league. So, I mean, we've got really exciting things going on that it's not in any other league. It really isn't.
Yeah. And this is something that is just basically, I mean, it's the tip of the bread. Like I said, as an ownership group, you're buying into a franchise at that price. That's literally what we've worked on was creating these franchises to only be able to create more and more value in the next 2 to 3 years. Be worth $250K, $550K. Once we're working and the TV deals are done, look at what your franchise is worth. You're looking at something that you've built from the bottom up.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And I mean, it's something you cannot beat, and it's something that I wish, I just wish a lot of our celebrities, a lot of our, former players, former NBA players, a lot of these guys understand you are the brand. You are your brand. So if you're purchasing a franchise, just think about this. Some of you guys had endorsements. Some of you guys had sponsorships. Some of you guys had these things. What do you think is going to happen when you buy your own franchise?
That's you. That's an extension of you again. I mean,
yes, it's all over again. And that's what we wanted to do. We wanted to create the opportunity to show, hey, listen, you can own what you do.
Right. Exactly.
And Mike and Cathy, I think, we definitely are gaining some former NBA star power. We just picked up, I think, Chucky Brown up in the North Carolina market.
Yes, indeed.
That's so exciting. We got
Chucky Brown. He used to play for the Houston Rockets and a few other teams. He was a journeyman, but he did his job. We have former NBA player Mark Davis, graduated from Texas Tech. He's actually the head coach of the Georgia Fire.
The Georgia Fire.
Thinking about giving him another hat as the GM.
That's the guy.
Yeah, that's a great story. So we're also in the business of creating stories. That's what comes with ownership.
Exactly.
You can create stories. Okay? Now, my case in point, we still have another team that we potentially might look down the road on 75 South in Macon, Georgia.
Nice.
That's a close trip for the Atlanta team, and we can hit Birmingham if we get one of those Birmingham teams and hit that southeast market and warm it up a little bit. So yeah, we can create history every day with our teams, through ownership. That's the important part.
And create hope. That's what I think when, like Mike said, the little kid that wanted his autograph. I mean, it's like they're seeing that there's so much more to it. And I love the whole part, because not only is it financial literacy that we're bringing on, that's going not just to the team, to the owners, that's going out to the community.
Players, yes, the community as well as the players.
Create hope. That's awesome.
Who also need to understand this because of the situation of how many athletes that go broke after their career's done.
Right, and this is something that, I mean, some of those guys, you know what, people, you got to reach out to us, because we've got some great opportunities. Even if you're not going to be one of the owners, you can be involved. You got to get a hold of us. Get a hold of one of us, and let's see what we could do. If you know anybody that's interested, and there's cities that we didn't mention that, we have needs for. I mean, we can only go as big as, what did we say, 32 teams? And we're only going to start with 12, and all these people are coming in, and they're so excited. So it's something that's so needed. People are hungry for it. They want the opportunity, and they want something that's affordable for their families to be able to go and have a fun night.
Yes, indeed, and that's the best thing about it. You know, to wrap it up and kind of make it, better. It's expensive for a family of 4, a family of 6 to get out to an NBA game. So we're making it cost friendly, and we've also, allowing you guys to see some of the top talent, and they're able to see it, on a good spring, summertime, and you're able to afford it it's affordable for your entire family.
And speaking of summertime, tell everybody where the championships will be held every year.
Oh man, listen, that's the best part. We're looking to have the championships held, the world championships held in the Virgin Islands.
Virgin Islands, that's right. You heard it here first, folks. So that's what's so exciting. The WCBA. You know what I want to do? We need to get ready to wrap it up here in 1 minute. But let's go ahead and close out tonight by just, saying thank you to everybody. Thank you, Joe Savino, Armed Radio, Jim Bell, all you guys that make it possible for us to be out there and talking to all of you. We really appreciate it. All the sponsors. And please hit us up, too, if you want to sponsor. Get your name out there. We are international. It's the F word.
Yes, indeed. And you will have advertising on the network as well. On the networks that our games will be advertised on. So, listen, we'll close this out with, if you're looking for any more information, www.wcbainternational.com.
It's the F word. Good night, everybody. Thank you.
Have a good night.